All right, so here's the plan for today. First things first, I gotta eat some food and get ready for the gym because I'm gonna go and hit arms today. Now, the main focus for this entire video is that once I get back from the gym, my plan is to sit down. And right now, I have an app that it's a desktop app, it's nothing fancy, but it's a app that's just for like calorie counter. It's a simple nutrition calorie counter app. So far, I've done all the coding myself, but recently I just installed Cursor. I want to use Cursor to basically help me finish and really just like juice up this calorie counter app that I'm making. So the plan is to eat, get ready for the gym, go to the gym, come back and use Cursor to then just beef the fuck up out of this calorie counter app that I'm using. So that's the plan, and let's get to it. All right, fueled up, about to head to the gym, gonna crush an arm day, and then when I get back, it's time to sit down and lock in to do some coding for a couple hours. Just got out of the gym, really didn't feel like going today, so now it's time to go home and get going on Cursor, put a couple hours in, and see what we can do with this calorie counter app. So let's go. Well, what do we have here? Come on. All right, little pump preview, and then we'll get right into it. Not bad. Fucking white as hell, though. Need to get more tanned. All right, so I've got Cursor started, and I've got my code in front of me. Now, before I start letting it go crazy and do its thing, I want to show you guys what I got done first by myself, and then we're gonna start messing around with Cursor and see how this goes. So, like, as of right now, it's really basic, just like super simple HTML. Not much going on in the styles, and then this is all the JavaScript that I have done so far. Nothing crazy, and then it just obviously just creates this little guy over here. Got some input fields, place to add your food, and then a place where it's actually tracking the total calories and all the other macros. Now, with that all being said, it's time to mess around with Cursor. So yeah, the idea is to just get a better understanding of Cursor, what it can do, and then also try and make something cool with it. Because I tried not to do too much vibe coding because it's not good for my overall understanding of how to code, but I'm also curious as to what some of these technologies can do. So why not try using it on a project that I've already started? So let's get right into it. Okay, so I started everything off by prompting it first just because it needed to get some sort of context before we got rolling. So basically what I said to it was, the main focus of this calorie counter app is to give users a more gamified approach to counting calories while including some key features that most calorie counting apps put behind a paywall. I also want you to follow secure by design practices, as a lot of vibe coded apps are having tons of security issues that I would like to avoid. After reading my code, what do you think we should start with? And then it obviously went through, read my code. Basically what it said is the immediate things that need to get done are security improvements, and then to add some gamification, however the fuck you say that, and then the features to make it more like a game. Now, after my initial prompt, it went through and it kind of just summarized basically a bunch of the things that I need to focus on, and then it started implementing code. Now, obviously, the main problem for me is that vibe coding doesn't really teach me anything, and I'm trying to become a better software developer. So by vibe coding, I'm not getting the experience and getting better at coding, but that's not really the point of this exercise. The point is to just take an idea that's in my mind and get it out there and see what we can do. And so Cursor is obviously going to help me with that, and that is the goal for today. But moving forward, I don't want to be doing this too often just because it's not really helpful for me getting understanding on how to code better. So moving forward, I won't be doing this too often, but just for today, because I want to mess around with it, this is kind of what we're doing. So I guess now what I can do is I can go through and accept these lines of code and changes that it has recommended. Let's accept that one. Cool. So that's that, which is sweet. And then I can go and accept this one. That's good. So just a quick summary of kind of what it did for me right then and there was that it inputted validation and sanitization. So it added comprehensive input validation for all form fields. It implemented a character filtering to prevent XSS attacks. Let's say, I don't even know what that is, which is like half the reason why vibe coding is just not for me, because it's not teaching me what these things are. Now, it's still cool to see that it can do this all by itself without having to know the information, but I just feel wrong not understanding what any of this means. But anyways, it also added length limits and type checking, and it used text content instead of inner HTML for some safe DOM manipulation. Secondly, it did data validation, range checking for calories 0 to 10,000 and macros 0 to 1,000. It did character whitelisting for text inputs and also error handling with try-catch blocks. The third thing it did was secure storage, so local storage with error handling and data sanitization before storage. The gamification features added were the achievement system, visual feedback, and progress tracking, and then just some UI improvements. Now, it says the next step to consider are enhanced gamification, additional security, and advanced features. I think what I want to focus on, honestly, is the UI right now, just because it looks kind of just bad. So I'm going to mess around with the UI and just kind of see what kind of a final product I can get out of here. But so far, this is pretty cool. I mean, besides the fact that it's not teaching me a whole lot about coding and it's just doing it, I like the idea that I can have an idea, talk to Cursor, and then all it's going to do is just start working on it for me. Like, that's cool, and I like that idea because it allows anyone to get into this world and start creating things. But I don't like the aspect that I myself am not learning the specific knowledge that, like, for example, like, what's an XSS attack? I don't even know what that is. So that's my only thing about doing the vibe coding, is that you don't get a deep understanding of what you're actually doing. But on an actual efficiency and production rate, like, pretty awesome. All right, so basically what I just did is I asked if we could mess around with the UI, and I said instead of having this kind of shitty, colorful layout, I wanted it to be a bit more like Tron, Cyberpunk, and like some sci-fi vibes going on. So right now it's messing around with the styles and just pumping shit out, and then hopefully we'll get a cool result. Okay, so after messing with it for a little bit, it's not glorious or anything, but it's way better than where we started, so let me show you. Now, it is not glorious, it's not even that beautiful, but it is definitely better than where we started. There's a couple of animation glitches and stuff going on that I'm not super happy about, but it's kind of cool. It's got some little sound effects, and when I hit upload the data, well, look at that, got an achievement. It gets logged down here. So overall, pretty cool for just messing around for, hour, 2 hours or whatever. Not that bad. Now, to kind of wrap this all up and just kind of summarize what my thoughts are, I'd say if you're learning how to code, learn how to code. Take the time. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to build up the foundational skills so that I can just, over time, be a better programmer in general. But if you're just trying to build something and get it out there, then Cursor's awesome. Like, you can just take your idea, put it right in, and it'll spit out whatever you want, and then from there, it's your choice what you want to do with it. So, obviously, this is just a super, super simple kind of a showcase of what Cursor can do. I barely even know all the capabilities of it, but yeah, that's kind of all. I just wanted to see what I could get done today with Cursor and see what kind of capabilities it had. So I'd say that was successful, and I'm going to continue to mess around with it, but overall, I'd say it was interesting.